Hello. I'm going to be doing a series of interviews with some of the actors and the people that was involved with Tales of the Underworld. And I have the great pleasure tonight of doing an interview with my very good friend I've been acting with for nearly 40 years, James Osborne.
I don't think either of you did.
Well, I bought her a drink and her mates afterwards. Met up with her a few days later, had a meal. I've worked at another one since.
So Jimmy, how did you get involved in Tales of the Underworld? Silly question because we've done a lot of work together, so how did you get involved in this one?
Well, it's just follow-up of a film that we've done before. The character Albert, he's connected with Tales of the Underworld because that's connected with Lucas and Albert. So I'm only in it a little bit, but that's how I got involved in it. You wanted the character of Albert in Tales of the Underworld. And so that's how I got involved with Tales of the Underworld.
I normally drag you into lots of things,
You
don't I?
do,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Just tell me, how did you get into acting and why?
I'd always liked acting, but not at school. It's only when I got to about 20 years old, I should see different actors, Phil Daniels and things like that. I've done extra stuff. And I met Phil Daniels on a film called Party Party and some of the other actors. And I heard about Anna Shearer's. And that's where we both went, to Anna Shearer's. And that's where I first started acting at Anna Shearer's.
Yeah. So what's your experience? What other films have you sort of been involved with?
Film-wise, Hatton Garden Heist was a good film.
Was that one of your first films?
Yeah, one of the first big films as an actor. It was, yes, Hatton Garden Heist. And but experience-wise, and what I enjoyed the most was obviously working with yourself.
Yeah.
Because whenever you wrote anything, you put me in. But you didn't put me in because I was your mate. If you put your mates in,
well, you write. The thing is, you write things for people you know.
Yeah.
And some of the roles that I was ever writing, I always had you in mind.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the first things we done was Party Party. I remember that one. I know we was only like extras in that, but we were like special extras.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was like the first film we got together through Anna Shearer in the drama school in Islington, and it was great fun. We had a great laugh. Me, you, the girls from Anna Shearer's,
And the cast was brilliant. I remember that Clive
great.
Mantle, Carl Howman, Danny Peacock, Perry Fennick, and I remember Nick Berry even being on it, and he only had one line in it, but they say he stars in it now. But I just remember it was good. It was good fun, and we was with a lot of our mates from Anna's.
Yeah, it was a lot of our mates and all the main cast, such as Carl Howman, like I say, Perry Fennick. They was all lovely people. It was a great experience because you think back about them days, and they're over in a flash, but they're great memories to have. They really are.
We've done a lot of stage together. What do you prefer? Do you prefer filming or stage?
Stage is, we've done a lot of stage together. Stage is great. If you can do stage, especially like what we've done, a lot of fringe, because you're so close to the audience. But as you get older and you've done stage, you want to go in, if you're fortunate enough, you want to go into TV and do bits and pieces, which we have done. But what do I prefer? I like all of it, but I'd say TV and film is very similar, how it's done. So, out of the two, I suppose, film. Film.
I can understand that.
I'd rather do film.
And what inspired you to seek a career in acting? What was the things that inspired you to do it?
What inspired me to? I wanted to do something different. I wanted to do something, in film in particular, acting. I wanted to leave, so hopefully I wanted to get on and make some stuff which is always going to be there, which people will see from years and years and years later. And my biggest push for it as when people say, and they say it to a lot of people, what are you doing that for? You'll never do anything, you'll never get anywhere. And that pushed me more.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of negativity in this business.
Yeah, of course you do, all the time.
I find it's from people who want to do it, but haven't got that courage to step forward.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot to go into this business, because if you've got a family or anything like that, one of the biggest things that happens is you don't have a lot of money. So you've got to do 2 or 3 jobs, and you never know where the next meal's coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you wanted to be an actor, what sort of actors or actresses did you like or did inspire you?
Actors that was my age, Phil Daniels. Phil Daniels was the main one who I used to watch quite a bit. Like Meantime with Gary Oldman, and then the Scums. But I was already at Anna's when Scum was out, Ray Winston. But the older actors, of course, there was Jimmy Cagney. And the old Western actors. Not that I wanted to be like them, but it's more the English actors and the younger ones who I used to see, like Ray Winston, Phil Daniels rather, who was in 4 Idle Hands. And John Blundell was in it. Ray Winston. I think Ray Burdiss might have been in it, I can't remember now. But when I saw things like that, I thought...
What was one of the most standout actors that you, from yesteryear, that you thought, oh yeah, and you mentioned Jimmy Cagney, what was there any others?
Michael Caine, actors like that. Stanley Baker. Stanley Baker, I absolutely loved.
Robert Shaw as well.
Great actor.
That one.
Robert Shaw was a great actor.
With this film Tales of the Underworld coming out, what are you hoping for? I mean, we was in Lucas and Albert together, and of course that surprised everybody. So, what are you hoping next, and what are you hoping from the film?
Well, it's like any film you do, you want it to do well. And hopefully Tales of the Underworld will go the same way as Lucas and Albert. We want to get it shown, which again costs money. It's being edited, as you know, at the moment. And that's going well. And then the next step will be screening, getting it screened on different places, which we hope to do Clacton and the Princess Theatre, hopefully.
Prince Charles Theatre in London, where we did before,
and
if it's still there, and let's hope it is.
Hopefully that will do well. And then Babysitters, which is the big one as far as I'm concerned.
Do you think these type of films that this what they call gangster genres, I just call them a crime genre film, do you think they've got a lifespan, or do you think they just recycle every time?
I think they will always make them because they're doing it now. I don't know, they might fade out, I don't know if they will, but what I like about certain gangster films, you see more about the characters. And you don't have to see loads of killings. You can do the hint of a killing without actually seeing blood everywhere. Like what we've done, pumping our films in, but a subtle way. I think that's much better, and I think that's got more legs than the violence. You've got the violence in it, but it's in a subtle way. I think, and that's what I prefer. So
I understand.
I think that's the way forward.
I could start with your fingers, which make it even harder for you to bang out a tune in that banjo.
Go straight down the middle. No one cares if you lie to a
If you struggle with you being an actor, what is the thing that constantly you find you're hitting your head against a brick wall? I mean, I know, and you know, but I'd like to hear your point of view about it.
Well, at first, when I first started and got my first agent, and you're being sent for auditions, for castings, for parts, and you don't get them. At a younger age, you get really upset. But as you get a little bit older, you just accept it. It's just how it is. But that's not the struggle side of it. The struggle side of it is if you're not earning,
You've got to go work.
You've got to go and work, but I didn't mind that because I always went to work anyway, as you did as well. But getting seen is hard. and getting a break is hard, no matter how good you are. And when I first started at Anna Shearer's, and you started a few weeks later, Anna Shearer, who's absolutely fantastic, who's not with us no more, as you know, a lovely lady, and she could bring the shyest person out. First thing she said to me was, it's 10% talent, 90% luck.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of times.
And the nepotism in the business.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
It's who you know, and they get their
Having said
family
that,
in, but that's just how it is.
What do you think about the business at the moment? I mean, every business is struggling, and the film industry is going through a tough time at the moment for lots of reasons that I don't want to get into.
Yeah.
But what do you think, personally, as a choice, could happen that would benefit people like you, me, other actors? Because soon as we get to a certain age, I feel that we're not wanted anymore. I know female actors have always had that, but I always feel as soon as you get to a certain age and they tell you, you say how old you are, whether you look your age or not, you're pigeonholed and you never get offered the part unless you've made it, unless you're a big name. So how do you think the business would, how could the benefit change and benefit other actors? And
benefit the actors of a certain age?
Or benefit any, how could the business change and benefit from that change? What would you like to see?
Or to give actors a chance more, you mean?
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, that's a tough one. I don't know if it will ever change, will it? I don't think it will change. It's always going to be the same. Years ago, like people we would work with, Robert Putt, Livingston, Keane, and other older actors, they seemed to have more chance.
Yeah.
There was more chance, more opportunities.
It was more rep theatre.
There was more
I remember
rep
Bob
theatres.
saying to us once that he got offered a part in the Long Good Friday, and he turned it down because he'd got something like 16 weeks at the Royal Court or the National or something like that. And I said, why did you turn it down? He said, well, it was 16 weeks work. There was only a week's work on that film.
Yeah.
But I've always felt that with the loss of reps, it's become rep-rich theatre, that there's not the opportunities. I know they're still out there, but of course, as soon as we get to a certain age, unless there's the parts there for us, and the same with a lot of women I know, they get to a certain age and they can't.
Well, there's less parts for older people, obviously, but they are out there. But if they don't know you and you're not a name, you're gonna have less chance. But if you made it when you're in your 30s, and then all of a sudden you're 50 and 60, they will still look at you and think,
the likes of Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman, I don't think they would ever struggle if they needed to do a part again.
No.
How important was when we were starting, was the likes of student films, independent films and fringe theatre? And what is needed to allow some of the younger actors and some of us to take them roles? Because most of the time there's no money involved. And I know, because there's just no budget. We're all scratching to get a budget together. Even with all the tax breaks. If you haven't got that initial cash, you can't do it. So how important is student films and fringe work and independent films to actors, no matter what age they are?
Well, student films are great, but there's only a certain amount you want to do. But it gives you the opportunity to act, and it gives you the experience to being on set and working with directors and other actors, and you're learning all the time. So they're a great thing, student films and short films, because you've got a chance of getting them parts.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good education for young actors. As you know, I've done quite a few myself, as you have, and some of our friends. And once you've done up a dozen, 7, 8, you want to move on.
Yeah.
And then the other lot come in and do it. But it's a learning curve, and it's a great thing to do. They're great to do.
Yeah, I mean, with the Oscars this year, independent films have done very, very well. And I like the way they call it low budget, and it's got an £8 million budget, and we're struggling on a £50 and £60 £1,000 budget. But some of those films, as I said, make a lot of have got a lot of budget. How important is the budget to an independent film?
Or to have a successful one and one that looks good, a bigger budget is necessary. You can make a film on £5,000, £10,000, but it's going to look like a £5,000, £10,000 film.
Yeah.
So the bigger budget you've got, then you can pay the actors and you can get actors who you want in it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it gives you. But the most important thing, it gives you time. A big budget gives you time, and it gives you money to get different venues. And after the film's done, you've still got money to promote it.
Yeah.
To get it on, to get the certification, and get it on in different cinemas that you want to get it on. It all has to be paid for. So I'll say that to have a nice, comfortable filming with all the crew, the actors, the minimum to make it that comfortable and give you time to make it look good, so you're not rushing, or to make it look better than it can be, make it look even better. If you could get 150 to 200,000 pounds, I know we could make it, or we could make it spot on. You know, but you look at film once we've done, you say, "Oh, I could have done this, I could have done that." But you can say that about any film.
Yeah.
But the bigger budget you've got for an independent, it makes it more relaxing.
Yeah, I've always said that it's a bigger budget you got, and people say, "What do you have?" I said, "Catering," because having decent catering schedules your day. You have breakfast area, then you break for lunch, then you might have tea.
Yeah.
Break up, and also drivers, people
Yeah.
who run people around.
Yeah.
I mean,
because the producer like yourself, you're doing everything. You're knocking yourself out. You pick people up from train stations, take them back, and it's hard. It's really hard. So you want that big budget.
so why do it? I mean, that's one of the things. I mean, this business is hard at every level, whether you're up there or you're down there or you're just starting or you've been in it for years. What drives you on to keep doing it? You go back to that original question.
Yeah, it's because you want to do it. You can't do it if you don't love it. We've had people standing about to fill in different films, and they say, "Oh God, I couldn't do this, so I just want to get away." Don't it take a long time to set up? But if you love it, it don't matter.
No.
It don't matter at all. You love it, and you've got to do these independent films because that's the chance you've got to show what you can do, and you can get seen, and can go on and get picked to do other films. But it's hard to get a.
It was shot again in the Tendring area, obviously Clacton, North Essex area. How important do you think it is to have something like this in an area like Clacton-on-Sea and the area of Tendring, that the areas? But how important is it for an area to sort of have a film base or films made or the arts in that area? What does it give the people? Or any area, having said that?
Any area. I don't know, again, that's a tough one. It's if you're living in that area, as you do, and a lot of the actors who's in it live around that area, it's great. And different businesses around there have been very good to us. You've filmed in their places, they've even put some money in to help, which is also great. But even though you're filming them in the area and showing different places, different scenery and sets, you get some help, but you still don't get the full help that you want.
No. So we'll get back to the acting. Tales in the Underworld. Where do you see it going?
What's that?
The film. I mean, I know there's planned screenings in Clacton and we're going to plan one in London. But would you hope it went as far as Luke's and Albert, or would you like to see it in the cinemas more than doing streaming, or vice versa? Where would you like to see it going?
Well, it'd be lovely to see it. We're going to get it on in the theatres, like I said. But yes, it'd be lovely to get it on in the cinemas, which is what we're aiming for, which is what we want.
Yeah.
And hopefully we will. We will get it on. And then streaming, it hasn't worked out for us, streaming.
No.
It's so we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
Get
I mean,
put
we're going
on
to try and do it
cinemas.
ourselves. We're not ruling streaming out, and the thing is, streaming will always be there. But I think one of the great things about cinema is going to the cinema and seeing it in the cinema.
Yeah.
I love cinema.
Yeah.
And I think that's brilliant. Can take you away from here. If you could work with any actor, past, present, future, whatever, or anyone who would you like to work with, or what director would you like to work with in your time?
Oh wow. Director wise.
You can't say Darren.
No, I won't say that. You're talking about directors of Guy Ritchie would be good.
Yeah.
Guy Ritchie would be good. I mean, Clint Eastwood is well, he's just the main man, isn't he?
Yeah.
But the actors I'd like to work with, which would be fantastic. Gary Oldman, that would be absolutely amazing.
I agree with you.
Gary Oldman would be amazing. And again, Phil Daniels, I like Phil Daniels. I'd like to work with Phil Daniels. But Gary Oldman would be something else.
I think I agree with you. I'd like to work with Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
I think if I ever had a chance to work with somebody from the past, I think I would have.
Oh, from the past.
I'd probably like to work with James Stewart at one stage.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart, and obviously
yeah.
Jimmy Cagney.
Yeah.
And Robert Mitchum. I'd
Yeah,
like to work with Robert Mitchum.
I mean, I've always been a Paul Newman
Yeah, definitely Paul
fan,
Newman as well.
and
And I would like
Robert
to work.
Redford as well.
I would like to work with his wife, Joanna Woodward.
Oh yeah.
And one I always used to like was one of the older actresses that I used to like was I can't think of her name now. Like Sir Jessica Lange and people like that, but it was an old actress.
Meryl Streep. Oh.
So, yeah, definitely Meryl Streep, but Kate Winslet's another one. Emma Thompson, but one of the older actors I'd love to have been in scene with, like Lauren Bacall, and one of the actors actually worked with Lauren Bacall that's in this film, and I was quite jealous when he told me. But Lauren Bacall or someone like Olivia de Havilland, that was the name I was trying to think.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
any other people from the past would you like to work with?
Cool. On the female side, there's Bette Davis was absolutely amazing, wasn't she?
One of the other actors in this worked with Bette Davis as well.
Yeah, Bette Davis, and on the beauty side, Anne Margaret. What a beauty she was, and very good actress. And the old Hammer films, which I love. Barbara Shelley.
Oh yeah.
She's lovely. I love Barbara Shelley. I'd love to work with Shelley Winters.
Yeah.
Quality. Billy Whitelaw.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that brings me to one of the final questions. Name one of, it hasn't got to be your favourite film, but what film is your always go-to film that you sit and watch at any time?
Cool. There's loads and loads, I suppose. But just off the top of my head, Shawshank, apart from all the westerns and stuff, Shawshank Redemption with Morgan Freeman and Robbins.
Yeah.
I love the two together when they were talking about hope. Hope is a wonderful thing. You have to have hope that something's going to happen. And then Robbins escaped from the film.
Yeah.
And then in the end, Morgan Freeman got released, and then they met each other.
It just got you that film, did it?
What a want a Marlowe. Yeah.
We can't help but working because there's a lot of people who contributed this, but and one of the main men on it was Darren S. Cook, who directed us firstly in Luke's and Albert, and I noticed how much he's leapt on. How did you find working with Darren, and what do you find makes a good director?
A good director, like Darren, he makes the actors relax.
Yeah.
He don't put no pressure on them, and if he wants it done a different way, he lets you do your thing. And if he wants, try this, that, and the other, which he very rarely does actually,
Yeah.
with him and his right hand man.
Yeah.
If you've got it right, then it's right. You don't. But he's so easy to work with. He's
Yeah.
so easy, and he puts you at ease, gives you confidence. Darren does, and because you know he's good at what he's doing.
Yeah.
If he don't tell you to do this, do that, or whatever, you know you've done it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Darren there, it just makes it so relaxing.
And as it's me and you, and I probably won't ask this question to many other people, what's the greatest memory me and you had working together?
What a good happy one.
Happy ones. I mean, most of them have always been hard work, but what was one of the best times I think we had working together?
What on any particular film?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to say Luke's now, because that was something special. But I
Yeah.
remember we had some good fun when we done What's the Score.
Yeah, with Justin Smith.
Yeah. And the other thing I always remember is when we was doing doing our ill-fated performance of Macbeth in Hammersmith.
Oh, yeah.
Although the
yeah.
audiences were there and it was packed,
Oh,
everybody
yeah.
was slaughtering us over it.
Yeah, they did, but we had so much fun. Me, you, Michael McHale, and Andy, and other, who I can't remember who's in it
Tony
now.
Rakira.
But one of the best scenes is when we all forget lines, but we have to carry on. When me and you was doing something together, and it was sort of forgot what to say, but it went yes, then, now,
Yeah,
then, now, then, now.
For as many thousand days I could into 5 lines before.
And then you put it back again. I've got it.
I used to remember, what I remember about that, Mike was on stage doing his bit and we were all playing 9-card brag in the dressing
Yeah,
room.
we're all playing cards.
And I thought I just thought they were, because we had so much hope and we was all trying, it was like the first big stage thing that the company had gone on to after doing Fringe, and this was at the Hammersmith, and this was brilliant. Probably for me, I think sad times but good times. I liked Turpin, and I thought that was good. His brother's keeper that we did together.
Yeah.
But I remember going to see you in that play. Was it the classic play, the Mike Lee play, which was
with Stedman.
What was it called? I can't remember the bleeding name. What was it?
Abigail's Party. Abigail's Party, yeah.
And I remember going to sit and watching you on stage doing that, and you was absolutely fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was good.
That was good.
fun. Yeah.
And I love sitting there in the audience. And I think one of the best things that we've done in What's the Score, which I thought was really good, was that last scene that we did,
when we
sitting
together,
and thinking.
Yeah.
I think that was come from the art from the boat.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Without a doubt, working together, we click and it just comes natural between us.
Yeah. And this is what I mean. It was good on Luke's and Albert, and hopefully again in Babysitters when we get Tales of the Underworld out. So where do you hope to see Tales of the Underworld go? I know we said in that is a success.
Well, it'd be lovely.
More important, or is it more important that we actually earn some money to do the next film out of it? What is more important?
At this stage of the game, for us, I would say making some money, because
Yeah.
the investors have been great,
Yeah.
but we've got to try and make money out of it so we can go with...
Move on.
It's lovely winning awards and all that, but
The awards don't come with a £1 million budget, do
No,
they?
no.
And that's what we noticed. And,
Yeah.
and we was hit terribly by COVID. And,
both.
and we done very well, but it didn't transfer into money. And even though we done really well streaming on Amazon Prime direct to video, it's not transferred. But of course, we lost years with COVID. So that was it. So what else have you been doing recently after this? Been doing a few bits?
Yeah, I've done a little bit with Amazon. I've done a series. I've done little bits and pieces in that, which is called Young Sherlock, which is going to be on soon. I think they're doing more series of that.
That's good.
Which was good, which was fun. It's quite interesting. I can't remember what else I've done. I'm sure, well, apart from Tales of the Underworld. But yeah, basically that was about 12, 14 different days I worked on that.
Oh, that's good. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice when it comes off the back of something because you think, oh yeah, I'm in it. But it's. What advice would you have to any people going into this business?
If you love it, do it. Just do it, but don't expect to be successful, to be a star.
Yeah.
If if you want to call it a star.
It's great. It's much better to be a working actor than be a star.
Yeah. You might touch lucky and get parts straight away, but you could have 100 auditions and just get one.
Yeah. I know. It's.
But you think, oh yeah, I've done well. I'm gonna do it. Don't happen for everyone. They say if you work hard, it'll happen.
And if you
It
believe
don't
it, and if
always
you
happen.
see it, you'll get it. It'll be great. And nobody can believe more than me, you, and a lot of other actor friends of ours. Sadly, some of them just don't do it no more.
Yeah, you just got to be happy with what you're doing. If you like doing it, just keep doing it.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think I'm still going there at 63.
Yeah,
And it's a tough business. And it's been great talking to you, Jim, as always, mate.
Yeah,
because
and
it's
Tony.
been nice to see
and
you
we
again.
just keep going, mate.
We just keep going.
This
So
has
thanks a
been the
lot, Jim.
wife.
That'll be your
No
wife.
problem, this is the wife.
Anyway, I'm just going to say thank you very much to Jimmy Osborne, and stay tuned for some more interviews with other people. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.